What is up, guys? I'm your friendly neighborhood web warrior fanatic, and we are finally here getting some more web warrior love. I'm on the Fantasy Flight Games website right here, and Silk has just been announced. This is her preview article. Let's take a look at it together. Okay, so Smooth as Silk announcing the Silk Hero Pack for Marvel Champions, the card game. Okay, I am super excited here, and we have her art right here. And it says something about the story doesn't add up. Cindy Moon is Silk's alter ego. So she was bitten by the same radioactive spider as Peter Parker, and that was retconned, in the comics that spider also bit Silk after it bit Peter. And then Cindy Moon spent years of her life isolated in a bunker to protect Earth from the ravenous spider hunters known as the Inheritors. Finally freed from that bunker, Cindy now fights crime on the streets of New York as both an investigative journalist and the web-slinging superhero Silk. Okay. And then they're announcing it, so it's going to be a new web warrior, and I am holding out that it is going to be an aggression or leadership web warrior, so we can finally get some aggression slash leadership web warrior allies. And then, okay, let's go ahead and jump into her kit here. Silk Sense. Boasting similar powers to everyone's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Silk nevertheless takes a very different approach to combat compared to the wall crawler from the core set. Okay, so if you guys do not know, in the comics, Silk is a little bit more agile and faster than Peter Parker Spider-Man, but she's not as strong like physically as him. And she also has organic webbing that you guys can see here in her art. So we're going to see how they translate this into Marvel Champions. I'm really excited to see what they do. So we have Cindy Moon here. This is her alter ego. 3 recovery, hand size of 6, 10 hit points. Okay, so just her standard thing, exactly like Peter Parker Spider-Man. And she does have the genius trait here as well. So you guys know I love my genius shenanigans with Moon Girl, Ingenuity, all those really cool genius cards. And if there are more than 4 tuck cards here, discard all but 4 of those cards. So basically you can have 4 tuck cards underneath Silk, I guess. And each time you add another one, you have to discard it. But you can choose which one. So just a max of 4. As an action, discard a card tucked here, and you can draw 2 cards. Okay, that is really cool. I wonder how she can get cards tucked, beneath her, because then when she flips over to Alter Ego, she can discard one of them and then draw 2 cards, which I think that's really, really cool. I think it's a really powerful and great incentive to flip over to Alter Ego. So I love Alter Egos that have abilities like this. I am already really hyped on her. Silk here is going to have 1 Thwart, 2 attack, 3 hit points in her hero form, 5 hand size, still the 10 hit points, so exactly the same as Peter Parker Spider-Man. That makes sense because they were bit by the same radioactive spider, so it makes sense that they have the exact same stat line on hero and alter ego side, unlike, Miles Morales or actually Ghost Spider actually has the exact same stat line as well. Yeah, so I guess Miles is the only one that has a different stat line. And she finally has the Web Warrior trait. So we got another Web Warrior here added to the roster of heroes and Marvel Champions. It says if there are more than 4 tucked cards here, discard all but 4 of those cards. Okay, so same exact thing as her alter ego side. So you can't have 5 cards underneath her. It has to be at least, or the max is going to be 4. And Silk Sense. Response: after you defeat a minion or a side scheme, resolve a treachery card or resolve a treachery card. Tuck that card under here from the encounter discard pile. Okay, so after any card leaves play, or even a treachery actually, so it's pretty much any single card, right? Because the most of the encounter cards are either going to be treacheries, minions, or side skins. Only obligations will bypass this. But yeah, so if you get a minion, whenever you defeat it, you can put it underneath Silk. That is really cool. Same with the side scheme. And if you just review a treachery after it's resolved, then you can tuck it underneath Silk. Okay, so that is a really powerful ability. She can kind of hold cards and steal them for the entire game. And there's no way to lose all the cards, right? You can always have 4 tucked under her. So for people that get Shadow Pass a lot, like D20, you can just put the Shadow Pass behind Silk, but you have to resolve it already, actually. So you know what? That probably won't work out because if you already resolve Shadow Pass, there's not that much of an incentive to tuck it underneath Silk anymore. It could be a card that you are, so maybe like an advance, I think would be a great target for that, or a really powerful minion, right? This is going to be elite minions too, so that is really cool. If you defeat like a really strong, really powerful elite minion, like let's say the Ronan the Accuser minion from like the print and play or something like that, that's crazy. She can just hold him underneath there. So yeah, that's really cool. That's a really unique ability. It doesn't really add anything immediately, but we'll see what the rest of her kit is, right? The only thing that helps is like her alter ego ability to discard a card and then draw 2. But inherently, this is already good, even without doing anything, because you can hold those cards. So I could definitely already see some really cool combos with Silk with this. Okay, so Silk Sense, which allows you to tuck cards underneath her, and then they are placed face up, similar to an attachment. However, unlike attachments, tuck cards are not considered in play. This represents Silk learning her opponent's tendencies and tells over the course of a scenario, making her a far more effective combatant over time. That's really cool. For example, when Silk attacks an enemy, her Spider Claws, okay, what is this, an upgrade? 2-cost upgrade, Spider Claws. Hero Interrupts, only hero form. It has a weapon keyword, so that means that we can use cards like like Fusillade and stuff like that that can exhaust weapon upgrades. Hero Interrupt, whenever Silk makes a basic attack, you exhaust the Spider Claws. Okay, never mind, because you want to exhaust the Spider Claws for its actual effect. Actually, this is the art that Tony Fanchi reviewed for us during the Fantasy Flight Games fireside chat, so that's cool to see. Exhausted Claws, for this attack, she gets +1 for each card tucked under her from the same encounter set as attacked enemy. This attack gains piercing. Holy cow. Okay, it's only gonna be for one attack, right? Because you have exhausted claws when you do it. But every single turn she has piercing if she wants to get that piercing, and then she can do up to 4 attack, right? So it's gonna be 4 plus her base attack stat of 2, right? So 6 damage. Yeah, I really like this card a lot. It reminds me of the hand cannons. No overkill, piercing instead, but more damage, and it's never gonna go away, right? That is really cool. There is a caveat that you have to have cards from same encounter set, so you can't use like advanced, because advanced is from a mod set, it's from the standard set, right? So if you have like a bunch of advances, assaults underneath it, then it won't work. But if you can get the so I wonder if there's more of an incentive to actually get the encounter sets, encounter cards tucked underneath Silk instead of the like standard sets or modular sets. I think that actually adds more theme to it, right? Because of how it's explained that Silk is learning her opponent's tendencies. So if she adds an advances, she's not really learning the villain's tendencies. She's like taking out something else, like the advances like from the standard set. So if she takes actually like Ronan the Accuser's cards or something like that, yeah, that would be cool. Actually, what is after you defeat a minion or side scheme? Oh, no attachment. So I was thinking about Rowan's Universal Weapon, which is a really nasty attachment, but yeah, you won't be able to grab that. So it has to be either minions or side schemes or treacheries. Okay, and then let's see, her Spider Reflexes here. 2-cost upgrade, superpower. So she does have a lot of, this shouldn't be a superpower, right? Yeah, that one's just a weapon. So she has a lot of upgrades, it seems like. Hero Interrupt, whenever Silk defends, exhaust Spider Reflexes. Okay, so this is similar to SPDR, where like she has upgrades. When she uses the basic activation, she can exhaust upgrade and get like a bonus for it. For this attack, Silk will get +1 defense for each card tucked under her from the same encounter set. Okay, so it sounds like that's a recurring theme. We want the same encounter set type cards tucked underneath the thing. So I'm guessing whenever we first start playing with Silk, what we want to do is just tuck everything that we can. And eventually, when you get more than 4 tuck cards, you start adding the cards from the encounter set and discarding like advances or assaults, so you can have all 4 from the encounter set. And I think there's not really too big of a reason to not do that, right? Because you can just add them and then discard all except for those cards. So you can slowly dilute them and concentrate them, and make it the way that you want. Make those 4 cards the 4 cards that you really want. Let's see, Spider Reflexes, we're still taking a look at that. So after this attack, tuck the top card of the encounter discard pile under Silk. Tuck the top card of the encounter discard pile. Oh, snap. Okay, so when Silk defends, exhausts Spider Reflexes, she gets +1 defense. And then after this attack, tuck the top card of the encounter discard pile underneath Silk. So is the top card just going to be the boost card, right? No, so it's for, she can defend any enemy, right? So this could be a way to get an attachment or to get an obligation, right? It's basically if you defend against a minion, and then the top card in the encounter discard pile is going to be like that obligation or whatever, that you can tuck underneath Silk and you can hold on to that card. But if you defend against a villain, I believe that the villain gets their boost card. They review their boost, you take the damage, the boost gets discarded, and then after the attack, you tuck the top card of the encounter discard pile, which will be the boost card, right? So I think that if you use this against the villain to defend their attack, then it would just be the boost. So you can't really control it as much. But against a minion, then you can grab that top card of the encounter discard pile. I always love cards that revolve around the top card of the discard piles. This reminds me of like, Tony Stark's Pepper Potts, her resource generator. Generate the resource of the top card of your discard pile. That's really cool, just because you're not allowed to manipulate the discard pile of the encounter deck or the player deck. So it's always cool to see cards that revolve around that. And then she can improve her already defensive stat. Yeah, this could get her to like a really good protection player, right? Because she has this upgrade here that can get more defense. I wonder if she has something like a backflip. In either case, the more you study a particular encounter set, the better Silk will be at countering threats. Okay, that's really cool. Oh, she's gonna be in protection. Oh man, another Scarlet Spider here, because we already have one in. Okay, I'm not gonna look ahead so much. Oh man, he looks really cool. Okay, let's. This culminates in Silk's eidetic memory. One cost upgrade, interrupt. So this can be used in Alter Ego. I like that a lot, and it's superpower keyword. When you review a card from the same encounter set as a card tucked under your identity, exhaust eidetic memory. Swap those cards. Review the card that had just been tucked under Silk instead. Holy, okay, guys, this is my favorite card so far in Silk's kit. So cool. Yeah, this is like her scrying ability. It's the mag to her as well. Yeah, it works in Alter Ego. So this gives me, a reason to tuck a standard set card, right? Because she really revolves around having the same set, right? So let's say you tuck something like, I don't know, like an assault underneath Silk. You always want to keep at least one assault, I think, underneath her. Because if you review in advance and you're in Alter Ego, you can swap it as interrupt if you exhaust this card, and this card will stay in play. So you can constantly, at least once per turn, you get the exhausted card, right? You can switch out a card. Oh my goodness, that is insane. This is one of the most powerful cards I've ever seen because it just stays in play forever. So you pretty much have a buffer on every encounter that you're getting, right? Yeah, and you can exchange like a villain activation card like from their encounter set with like a minion from their same encounter set. That's crazy. Like I'd much rather get a minion than like have the villain attack or scheme, right? Crazy, crazy card. This card, there's so many cool combos. Yeah, she can play really well, I think, in any aspect now with this card, right? Because if you're in protection, you can guarantee the villain won't scheme twice because that memory can change the second advance or second scheme activation if they get as an encounter card. Really cool card here. Holy cow. And this is really, really cool art too. I think that's more Lun. All right, let's see. So she can tuck away the memories of any minions she defeats. Okay, yeah, okay. So there's no limit to number of times Silk can trigger her Silk Sense, although there is a hard limit of 4 tucked cards beneath her at any given time. This means you don't need to worry about occasionally discarding a tuck card for extra benefits, such as powering up a swinging Silk Kick. I like the name of that. 3 cost event, do 7 damage, okay. Aerial, just like Peter Parker Spider-Man's swinging web kick, attack superpower. You may discard a card tucked under Silk from the same encounter set as that enemy. If you do, this attack does 2 additional damage and gains overkill. Okay, I think that's always a good thing to do. I think that should be easy because she should always have like 4 cards underneath her. Yeah, so it's pretty much going to be 3 for 9 in overkill most of the time. If you can't get it off, it's 3 for 7, which is still fine because of that extra 2 damage in overkill and the potential to do that. So this is exactly like in line with Peter Parker Spider-Man swing web kick, I think. And then for the final push, you can have her attack first, right? Have her trigger the Spider Claws to get like, +4 or like plus as much damage as you can. And then after that, you play all your swinging Silk Kicks. Hopefully she has 3 copies of this card in her kit. And you can do 9 damage for each one if you discard cards from the same encounter as enemy. So you usually want, I would say right now my strategy is to have 3 cards from the same encounter set and maybe like 1 from the standard set, like advanced or something like that. If you're playing like Expert 2, then it's probably a good reason to keep those Expert 2 cards so you don't get them back because that's just so much more rough than the benefits that you get from keeping it from the same encounter set as the villain. Yeah, really cool card here. And then removing extra threat with her. She has Authority Event, Wall Crawl. 1 cost event. Oh, 1 cost for Authority Event. That's really nice. That's under the curve. Here, actually remove 2 from a scheme, so that's not that great. Choose a scheme. You can discard a card tucked underneath Silk from the same encounter set as a chosen scheme. Okay, that's pretty cool. To remove 3 threat from that scheme. So this could be a 1 for 5. And you discard a card beneath Silk. But when you defeat that side scheme, you can just tuck it back underneath Silk again with her hero ability, right? So like you remove 2, then you choose a different scheme. So it can be a 1 for 2 and 3 or a 1 for 5 because you can choose the same scheme again. And then that's probably defeating a scheme, so you can get the scheme right back underneath Silk. So that cost right there of discarding a card tucked under Silk is not bad at all for the wall crawl. I feel like the way that I'm going to play Silk is not really calculating which cards I want underneath her, but really just revolving all the cards around over and over again, I think, because I feel like for benefits like this, I mean, there's just no side effect to doing that. It's a 1 for 5. insanely above curve for Authority event. That is crazy, crazy, crazy good. Okay, as Cindy Moon, this is her alter ego. Yeah, so she can spend a tuck card to draw 2 cards. Yeah, that's really good. Her boss, Jonah Jameson. Oh yeah, she does work for Jonah Jameson in the comics. 3 cost support. We finally got our Persona Jonah J or JJJ. Alter ego action. Exhaust this card. Search your deck and discard power for Get the Scoop and put it into play. Okay, she has another card called Get the Scoop here, I guess. Action. Exhaust this card. Remove 2 threats from a side scheme. Holy cow! Wait a minute. Okay, that makes sense. It's a 3 cost support. That's quite expensive. As an action every single turn, you have a remove 2 threat from a side scheme. That's like a better beat cop. It stays in play forever, right? I mean, beat cops can do any scheme, but having this side scheme killing card on demand, I mean, holy cow. I mean, having this threat removal here, you can use this action right here in hero form, right? This is the one that you can only use in alter ego. 3 cost is expensive, but it's definitely worth this effect right here. Wow, every single turn. If you can just use this like, 2, 3 times, it just already pays for the cost. This is a crazy good card. And then what does it get the scoop? Oh, it's a player's side scheme. Okay, I love identity specific player side schemes here. So it's a 0 cost, has 4 threat on it. Alter action, exhaust your. Oh, no victory keyword. So that means it goes in discard pile. You can recur it over and over again. Oh man, this would be a lot of shenanigans and injustice here, right? Because Jonah can recur it every single time you're in alter ego. You can grab this, get the scoop side scheme here. Is it from your deck or discard pile? Search your deck and discard pile. Oh my goodness, that's even better than Jubilee. So now you can look through your discard pile for get the scoop and recur it over and over again. Okay, what's the benefits of defeating this side scheme? So you can exhaust your deck and remove 2 threat from here. Any player matures ability. Okay, that's a really handy effect to have. But you can also thwart this side scheme with your regular thwart as well. And JJJ can also remove 2 threat off of it. When it's defeated, the Cindy Moon player looks at the top 2 cards in the counter deck, tucks one of those cards under their identity. Oh, snap. Okay. It can be good. It can be situational, right? It's not the biggest like amazing effect. It just allows you to look at the encounter deck and scry for a little bit if you're flipping down to alter ego. So I just love how Silk has the ability to flip down to alter ego very safely, even without playing Injustice because of the scrying abilities here. We'll get the scoop. So there's definitely a good situation for it. It's gonna be a little bit more situation. It's not a card that you want to recur over and over again because it's not gonna get you exactly the biggest board advantage. Just allowing you to know exactly the next card of the encounter deck. So pretty much just the boost card if the villain activates, right? You have them confused. You know the encounter card, which is nice. But yeah, I mean this aside, yeah, I think this isn't the best player side scheme. It works well with Silk's kit to allow her to grab attachments or other like obligations cards that she can't regularly grab because her hero ability only allows her to grab certain cards like treacheries, minions, or side schemes. But yeah, I mean I think it's an okay card. It works nice with her kit. There's definitely some fun mechanics with her, and it's very thematic, right? Get the scoop. Yeah, so this is generally a pretty cool card. Before she puts her silk suit back on, and he can also help clear off some threat. Yeah, so that's really good too. Whoa, okay, sorry guys, this is Sesame again. She was doing so good earlier. With plenty of ways to tuck and counter cards under her, and plenty of uses for those tuck cards, Silk should not be underestimated. Yeah, for sure. Okay, she's in protection here. Normally I don't go through the aspect cards, but I want to see these web warriors here. So we got Ben Riley, Scarlet Spider, 3-cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 2 consequent damage for each one, but 5 hit points. So insane. He has a Web Warrior trait. Interrupt. When another Web Warrior character would take any amount of damage, Scarlet Spider takes that damage instead. Okay, so you can use it in hero form and alter ego, so he'll just take damage for you. I think that's a decent protection card. There's probably some really cool combos with it that I'm not thinking of right now. 2-cost event, stop hitting your stuff. Okay, that's funny. Attack, cure response, attack. After you defend against an enemy attack and take no damage. Oh, perfect defense. Do damage to an enemy equal to your defense for that attack. Okay, this is a really cool perfect defense card. Whoa. Yeah, okay, let's see. And then, so we saw this here. Call on Scarlet Spider to pull away damage from Silk or your other Web Warriors. Or you can equip an energy shield. Is this shield tech? 0-cost upgrade. It's not shield, but it has an item keyword. Just have the tech trait. Attach a character, max 1 per character. Interrupt when an attached character would take any amount of damage. Spend X energy resource, prevent X of that damage. Holy, what is up with the cards that stay in play forever in Silk's kit? You guys know I love cards that aren't temporary. Cards you can just play. 0-cost upgrade, you play this for free. And when you would take any amount of damage, or when attached character, right? So Oh my god, wait a minute. You can put it on any character. So you put this on an ally. And each time the ally would take consequential damage, you can spend an energy resource and prevent damage so that like one consequential damage. That's insane. This will just Voltron allies endlessly. This is an insanely powerful card. You don't have to exhaust this? What? When an attached character would take any amount of damage, spend X energy resource, prevent X damage, you don't have to exhaust it. Why don't you have to exhaust this card, guys? That makes no sense. So you can just do this kind of endlessly. Yeah, because if you do it, yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. I mean, I guess if you run out of energy resource, then you can't do it anymore. But like, if you take one damage, spend one energy resource. Take another one damage from something, spend another one energy resource. You can have 3 copies of this card in your deck. Put one on your hero, one on your favorite ally. Just keep it in play forever. That is insane. Interrupt, you can use an alter ego and hero form. I love the energy shield. This is like looking to be one of my favorite protection cards in the game. 0 cost upgrade. Crazy, crazy. Definitely want 3 cards of this card in my deck. And then let's see, in alter ego form, you can call on the aid of Dr. Sinclair. 2 cost support, persona, therapist. Alter ego action, exhaust Dr. Sinclair and spend a mental resource. Heal damage from your alter ego equal to your recovery. You can discard 1 status card from your identity. Any player can trigger this ability. So only alter ego. Exhaust, spend a mental, heal damage equal to your recovery. That's a pretty nice way to recover. I don't like that I got to spend a mental resource, but it says in play forever, doesn't have counters. I think I would just prefer counters though, instead of spending an extra mental resource each time. This is cool with Peter Parker Spider-Man, but AMAR heals him a lot, but now you can heal him even more in alter ego if you can buff his attack or his hit points up with like the symbiote suit. You can discard 1 status card as well. Yeah, this is any player can trigger, so that's pretty cool. Any player can call on this. If they're in alter ego. Okay, yeah, that's a solid protection card for sure. Let's see what else we got. Ready for a fight? 1 cost upgrade, man. Is this gonna stay in play forever as well? Requirement is at least a physical resource when paying for this card. So you do need to pay for physical. You cannot use Helicarrier on it because you have to use a physical when paying for this card. Wait, does it requirement physical? If it's free, no, yeah, I think you need to spend a physical. It is a preparation card with a bunch of web warriors on here, so that's pretty cool. Max 1 per player, interrupt. When enemy would scheme, oh man, I love cards like this. When enemy would scheme, discard ready for a fight. Change the hero form. That enemy attacks you instead. Guys, this is armor up from Colossus. But now for any protection player, this is so good for protection, guys. This is so good for protection. Protection already has a bunch of physical resource cards. If you're not, playing with like, the tech stuff. But now you can prevent a scheme. You can flip that to alter ego safely and still flip over to hero form and trigger your perfect defense engine and defend. That is a really, really good card. This card like just solidifies perfect defense and makes it like very viable against the tough scenarios in the game. This card is a game changer, I think, for perfect defense, for protection in general. Yeah, just so good. This is definitely an all-include, I think, for protection. One of the best protection cards in the entire game. So good. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. She has really powerful protection cards here. You can quick change the hero form to interrupt an enemy scheme. And then Madam Web here, 3-cost ally. Okay, a basic web warrior. You guys know I love basic web warrior allies. 3-cost ally, 2 thwart, 1 attack. Love the 2 thwart. Only 2 hit points though, so a little bit under the curve. Normally 3 hit points is what we're looking for a 3-cost ally that has 2 thwart and 1 attack. As a response, it's not forced, don't have to trigger it. If she enters play, look at the top X cards. No, not more scrying, guys. Look at the top X cards in the encounter deck. X is the number of web warrior cards you control. You may discard 1 card, look this way, and put the rest back in any order. Okay, yep, this is an auto-include for web warrior decks. This powers up the web warrior trade cards. So much more insane auto-include web warrior basic ally here. Yeah, so good. That scrying allows you to control the encounter deck, allows you to flip down safely, allows you to know for the next turn what will happen. If you're playing leadership, recur her over and over again. Whenever she enters play, it's not even play from your hand. Insanely powerful web warrior ally. So much scrying ability. Shout out to Nar Antlers. I know that he's gonna love all this extra scrying stuff for web warrior and for Silk. Yeah, this precon looks amazing. And she can also see him with Peter Parker for some stellar investigative journalism. Okay, I think her identity-specific ally is going to be Peter Parker Spider-Man. That's really cool. That's who I wanted for Silk. 2-cost event, team-up card with Peter Parker and Cindy Moon. You have to be an alter ego? Cindy Moon and Peter Parker. Yeah, I think you do. It's alter ego interrupt. Both identities must be an alter ego, it looks like. When an enemy would scheme, cancel the activation and confuse the enemy. So good. I love this card right here. When an enemy would scheme, so both players flip down, you can prevent one of the schemes. So you have this card in your hand, right? So you have this card, you're like, hey, let's both flip down. We can do it safely. Really cool. Love the theme on this as well. Awesome card. Awesome team-up card. Oh yeah, it stops two schemes in one go, right? Because you can confuse the enemy if they don't have stalwart. Insane, yeah. So that's gives even more incentive to both players to flip down here. Okay, and also comes with the modular set of Atlas here. Okay, yeah, okay, all right. We'll just skip over that. All right, yeah, okay. So as an elite Thunderbolt minion, Atlas encounter set can be used as a part of the Thunderbolt scenario in Agents of Shield. Naturally, since it is a modular set in its own right, you can always choose to add it to any other scenario for some add challenge as well. Yep, and we have Cindy Moon here. Get the scoop with the ability to learn and encounter the threats of different encounter sets to maximize effects. Silk is a terrific hero and fantastic addition to any team. Yeah, she's coming out in April. Holy cow, guys. I am super hyped on Silk. Forget about Maria Hill. Forget about, Nick Fury, Shuri, Black Panther. Silk, I'm all in on Silk here. This is my most hype hero right now of this wave. Yeah, all right. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys are excited for Silk as well. Let me know what you think of her. What do you think about her kit? And yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next one.